And for more on Game 4 from Phoenix, we bring in CBS Sports NBA insider Bill Reiter. Bill, first of all, a huge win for Phoenix, obviously, to tie the series. Big loss for Denver. Those are the obvious points. What is your reaction to the way it went down in the Valley of the Sun?
It is a reminder that no matter how talented your superstar, and Nikola Jokic was, I mean, what are the words I'm supposed to use, Russ? Incredible, amazing, transcendent, phenomenal, mind-boggling. You got to get some help, especially when you're going against other superstars. And the Devin Booker, Kevin Durant combo, we've talked about it so much since Durant got traded. It is just a perfect fit, and it's so hard to fight back against those two guys when they're both in sync like they were in this game.
Devin Booker in his last two games, he shot the ball 43 times. He missed 9 times out of the 43, scored 83 points. How sustainable is this from not only Booker, but Booker and Durant together?
I don't know if like that statistical ridiculousness that you just cited is sustainable. I don't know if he's going to keep getting 36 points on 18 shots, which is the height of efficiency, is sustainable. But I think that the firepower that Phoenix can throw at you because of where Devin Booker's at with his confidence and his game and just the inability for teams, obviously this is obvious, but you can't double team Devin Booker and double team Kevin Durant when they're on the floor together. And those guys right now are both unguardable. I think that danger, that production, those two guys' ability to play at such a high level, especially offensively, if I'm Denver, I'm going to plan on that continuing and trying to find a way to win this series despite that fact.
And we're going to talk about Nikola Jokic and the rest of his Nuggets teammates in just a second, but I want to stick with the Suns for one more thing, because all the headlines in this series about Phoenix are going to be about that duo, KD and Book, right? But you got Landry Shamet coming off the bench, scoring double digits in the fourth quarter. How huge is it for Phoenix to get a third rung going?
Yeah, it's a great question. The much expected Landry Shamet game that we were all just sitting around waiting for, Russ. I mean, look, the thing that struck me about Shamet's performance and really about the game in general is that really the book on these two teams are Phoenix are incredibly deep in terms of their top tier talent. We've talked about Booker and Durant. And this is a Denver team, and they have Nikola Jokic, so it's not like they don't have a star, but it's depth, right? It's different guys you can throw at an opponent to supplement Jokic that's supposed to be the difference maker, and that just wasn't the case today. Michael Porter Jr. had a good start to the game, but kind of finished a little lackadaisically, and I know Jamal Murray put up some numbers, but outside of him, there wasn't a lot of help. The depth, the extra guy, the surprise player, which you need in these series sometimes, you said it, was Shamet, who came from a Suns team that when you look at them on paper, they don't have a lot of guys you can turn to. So the guys that you're going to turn to who aren't named Booker and aren't named Durant are going to have to step up. And the fact he did it was a huge part of why the Suns are at 2-2 and not in a 3-1 hole.
And look, and they're also buying some time here by winning this game, forcing a game 5. There's going to be at least 6. Chris Paul hasn't played the last couple of games. How much do you think they'll miss him down the road? Or are they okay right now without Chris Paul, the way they're playing?
Look, they would clearly rather have Chris Paul, right? That is obvious. His leadership, his experience, his ability to be a difference maker at times. But Chris Paul's not had the same kind of season this past year, Russ, that he has in years past. He's an older player. Point guards that are of his stature tend to hit a decline at 32 or 33. He's well past that. And I think they showed in the last few games, and again, they'd rather have him, but they are capable of playing at a really high level without Chris Paul. And I think if you're the Denver Nuggets, what you have to do is you have to look at this opportunity and say, all right, they can beat us without CP3. They're obviously more dangerous if he comes back. We have got to get focused and really bear down in every single game where Chris Paul's not on the floor.
All right, last thing about Phoenix, their Suns owner, Matt Ishbia, he drew a T from Nikola Jokic. What's your take? Was it a foul or a flop?
I mean, it's a light foul. It's a strong flop, and I think since you're an NBA owner and you're not going to have many moments like this is the only play you're ever going to have ever with an NBA player, and you have flopped. So it was poor timing. If he had 55 more games to go out there and maybe not flop, it would look better. But it's a slight foul, but it's the only time I would imagine he'll ever be engaged with an opposing player in what looks like a play. I guess the new Suns owner probably's got to learn a thing or two about in-the-moment public relations by just, bro, you got to just take that hit and not fall down.
Hey, look, He was on a national championship team at Michigan State. Tom Izzo, his coach, probably loving it because he probably drew some charges by that kind of motion. Look, let's get to the Nuggets. Nikola Jokic, you mentioned it, did all he could. 53 points, double-digit assists. Kind of surprised he didn't have double-digit rebounds either because he's a triple-double machine. Either way, it wasn't enough. What adjustments do the Nuggets have to do now, moving to Game 5 back at home? Who else needs to step up? Only Jamal Murray really showed out with 28 here.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of guys I can point to, but the main person that I think if you're the Nuggets you need to see playing better is Michael Porter Jr. because he's supposed to be their sharpshooter or one of a few. And this is a team that if you take away Jokic's three-point shooting on this night, Russ, this is a Denver team that shot 25% without his contributions from the three-point line. Guys not named Jokic made 1 out of every 4 threes that they took. So that's got to be markedly improved. And that's sort of par for the course. Role players tend not to shoot as well on the road in the playoffs. That's just a reality, and that's why you need guys to step up and sort of overcome that sometimes. And the other thing, and Mike Malone talks about this all the time, is defense. The Nuggets finished the year kind of middle of the pack if you look at the regular season in defensive rating, but they were wildly inconsistent. And when they played great defense, which was sometimes a really good defense, they looked like a team that could make a deep run, but there were times when their defensive effort just wasn't good enough, and I think that certainly applied tonight. They weren't focused. They didn't play particularly well defensively. I know they're playing a really good Suns team and a really good Suns offense, but they've got to hit more threes and play much better defense to make sure that they can take control of this series again.
Look, nothing between these two teams. They both won their games at home so far. They'll go back to Denver for Game 5. Right now, seeing what we've seen through 4 games, Bill, who do you give the edge to in this series?
I like Denver because I like Denver at the start of the series, but I've covered enough of these things to know how powerful momentum is. And I keep citing this because it keeps coming up. And the Warriors were down 2-0 in the exact same situations the Suns were down 2-0 against the Kings a couple of weeks ago. And we know the Warriors came back, won that series, and now playing the Lakers here in the second round. And so the same thing could certainly happen to the Suns. It's close to a coin flip for me, Russ, because Phoenix has so much talent on that team. They have so much star power on that team. And again, it's mostly Booker and Kevin Durant. But when Chris Paul comes back, and even if you want to throw DeAndre Ayton in there, which I will, if they're comfortable, if they've got confidence, if they have momentum, if they feel like they got some swagger, that goes a long way toward making up for the lack of time they played together. I like Denver a lot, but there's a lot of pressure on the Nuggets to hold serve back in Denver in Game 5. A lot of pressure.
Game 5 coming your way Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern from the Mile High City. That is CBS Sports NBA insider Bill Reiter. Bill, thanks a lot. I imagine we'll be doing this again late on Tuesday night. And here's a look at the list of players with the most playoff games with 35 points and 10 assists in Phoenix Suns history. Devin Booker now has 3, and that's just 1 behind the team record held by the mayor, Kevin Johnson.